We have this kind of narrative of like pride in general for LGBT plus people has become obviously like more of a party, and there's this movement, trying to take it back to its roots of protest. Yeah. Obviously, especially in terms of what we're facing in the media. But I think there's always that, when you come to a trans pride, there's always more of that grassroots feeling because you can see it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like you're able to see what we're going through. You're able to instantly connect those roots of protest with what we're doing. And I think it's vital because, like I said, I don't often get to see people that look like me. I don't often get to see trans people coming out and having a good time. It's a place for me where I feel safe. I don't always feel safe.
For visibility and for people who have very narrow ways of seeing the world and seeing gender, for people to be able to see that this isn't going anywhere, and like maybe if so many people are celebrating diversity, then maybe it's time to start to rethink how you think of gender and how you think of these binaries. I think it's really, hopefully, very educational for a lot of people who are scared of what they don't know.
I've definitely seen people walking around and thought to myself, I bet like they don't feel they can do that often, like as their true selves, like dressing how they want, to have a taste of what life could be like if you were allowed to kind of be who you are. I think can really help people make it through, to just keep holding on until they get to where they need to be going.
It's vital, like you said. You need these days, especially with so many places trying to, separate themselves from trans people as well, and like LGB communities, isn't it? Yeah. So it's like you need days like this, especially brings everyone together.
Yeah. To kind of refresh that solidarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I think it's immeasurable, this event actually, and the main reason is because, especially for trans, it's getting it out into the community. Not so much making it acceptable, but making people understand what trans actually means and the different variants with trans, whether it's non-binary, binary trans, whether it's trans non-binary. I just think it's a good understanding, and I think every major town and city across the country should be holding a major trans pride festival alongside the LGBT plus prides. But then also, I also think there should be a trans centre where people can drop in nationally as well, which is something that we're working towards as well. So it's an immeasurable event, it's so important, and I just think it should grow and grow.
I feel that trans pride is important because it shows people that we are here, we are visible, and we want to exist just like everyone else. We want to live our lives happily, just like everyone else.
We care about each other, and that we're angry and that we're hurt, but also that we have so much love for each other, and showing other people, like cis people, that like we're here and we're a part of society as well as that, and we deserve to be here.
For someone like myself who's straight, and I haven't met many trans people in my life, but now I've met quite a handful of people that I now will call my friends, and it's education. I didn't know a lot about non-binary, and now I'm learning. So education is key to breaking down barriers, and events like these are amazing.
Too many times now in Pride events, trans people, and especially trans and non-binary people, are excluded, not involved, not given the same platform as a lot of other people, both as performers and as the community. So I think highlighting that trans pride is needed is really important, and it really brings us all together as a community to let people know that we are here, we're not going anywhere, but also that we are very much a part of the LGBTQ community. That should be really, really celebrated in a massive way.
I think it's maybe sort of nice as from like a parent point of view as well, to see other parents and families out sort of celebrating their kids, and that's always nice, and to kind of chat with them. We marched today with a group called All Sorts, which are a really lovely Brighton group, and so to kind of be part of that group and to celebrate our kids in this space is just really magical.
I would also recommend All Sorts and the other children.
Yeah. You still need visibility and representation. They are baby steps moving forward, but this march needs to be 100,000 people in a few years' time. That's what we need to get to.
Yeah.
as much as like local politics is important, you can't just do the work within these power structures. You need grassroots movements to be empowering everything that happens within the like formal power structures. So today is just absolutely essential. It was amazing to see such a huge turnout, and obviously it's important financially to ensure that things like the Trans Pride Centre will continue to run. So it's just an absolute joy to be a part of.
It's a very friendly town, Brighton, London too, but at the same time, I'm not sure. I think we all know it's not quite as accommodating everywhere else. So we've got a bit of a mission, but I'm confident because we're already kicking up enough of a stink, and that's all it takes, quite honestly, and things will move. It might not be so smooth. I don't expect it to be smooth. I'm sure you don't either, but we've got to start somewhere. So fly your flags.
We sometimes are quite an isolated community, and I've met lots of trans people that don't know other trans people in their lives. So this kind of opportunity is great for like solidarity, community unification, and just experiencing joy and safety in numbers as well. That's really important.
You need to make sure people are in person to build a community, or else you don't really have a community, you just got a collection of individuals. Yeah, I think it's really important, and having everyone in together at once, because often you'll get smaller groups of people. They won't be all, you'll know people and they'll know people, but you won't have everyone together at once, except for Trans Pride.
I need to be here because basically I couldn't be here if it wasn't for everybody else and all the other trans people that have paved the way, essentially, for me. I'm 43 years old. I became aware 18 months ago, but absolutely, I bow down and I lay out on the floor in awe of people that are so brave and fearless that I need to celebrate it and at least just be a number and just be here. It's thanks to you and you and you and you and all these people here and everyone else that I can even, know about what this means and wear it and be me comfortably. So thank you to you and the group and all the thousands of people that are all around Brighton at the moment. Thanks.
Last year at Trans Pride, I was feeling quite down about myself and where I was in my transition, and seeing so many trans people at such different parts of their transition and who want such different things was kind of emotionally healing for me. Obviously, on top of that, Trans Pride is primarily a protest, and so it's just sort of really reaffirming to be able to see that we've actually got strength in numbers when we come together.
Okay, so I can feel like myself and I can enjoy being who I am.
Well, can't say it better than that, really. I think it's just great to see community sort of coming together, and seeing Roz, just kind of be part of that community, celebrate who they are, and celebrate trans lives.
Still a protest.
Still a protest.
But there's still prejudice, you still need protest. Because that's how you get to where this one needs to be, and everyone like them and us.
Yeah.
So they get the love that they need and deserve.
Trans Pride means to me an opportunity for the communities to come together, to experience joy as one sort of united community, and also to raise awareness of the problems that are occurring in the community and think about collectively what we want to change for the benefit of everybody.
Trans Pride is something that is very important to my partner, so it is something that is very important to me, and I think that it is a very joyous event, and it's nice to feel surrounded by people who are all very friendly, and it feels like they're on our side.
It means being able to talk about what's really important and fight for our rights, but also let people know what we're fighting for. Because if people only see the fight, then people don't actually get to experience our joy. And I like to remind people that actually trans people are very joyful. We just don't like it when people mess with our joy. So that's why I think Pride is really important, to both send a message out to everyone, but also make time and make space to celebrate with the people that we love and the community that we're all part of.
Really important to make some noise and make sure that people see us for people, because like just humans at the end of the day, like everyone deserves to have the same rights and live the same ease of life, and it's really frustrating that that's not the case for so many people. So yeah, I think Trans Pride is just so joyous as well, to see so many people out and celebrating, and to see people who aren't marching in the parade, who are like cheering from the sidelines with their families and with their young kids. Like, it's really beautiful to see. For as much hate as there still is in the world, it's like events like this that are just like really hopeful.
It means being here as an ally to my queer family, and also to reach out kind of from the lesbian community, which has been damaging trans people across the planet, and to, I guess, show my support and try to counterbalance that, a bit like carbon offsetting the kind of toxic way in which TERFs have been not supporting and not being allies, which, you know, is hurtful. And yeah, so that's why I'm here. I'm kind of trying to just be an ally and listen and understand and support my friends, basically.
For me, Trans Pride is an opportunity to show who we truly are, and as well as a time and an opportunity to show those who may not understand that we are here. We are here to educate, and we are also here to make sure that we are heard against people who want to eradicate us.
In society, we're often told to feel ashamed that we're trans and almost that we're not people because we're transgender, but actually it's an amazing thing to be, and I love being trans, and it's a great community to be a part of. And this event is just a wonderful day and a really important day for our community to fight back against the political pressures that exist on our community and fight for our humanity and for compassion and love.
Most of the focal point on trans lives is the misery that we face, the hardship that we face, but at events like this we get to celebrate our successes, we get to celebrate the truth of who we are, and we get to also, I think the biggest thing is like really build on community, and that's one of the biggest things when I go to a Trans Pride that I'm really excited about, is meeting other people and seeing people that look like me or you know, have come from similar backgrounds to me, just like living and being happy and healthy, because we don't get to see that in the media. So I think events like Trans Pride and Trans Pride in general is just like a really good platform to be able to see that.
It's mostly about community. I love coming every year because I like being surrounded by people who look like me. That's not really like available to me most of the time. And I used to be really scared of it. I don't know, I was scared of being involved because I didn't want to be like seen as weird, I guess. I wanted to like assimilate when I first came out, and now that's like 5 years ago, so I've grown a lot since then. Yeah, it's about finding people who are like me and feeling that sense of like being held, I guess.
Trans people are not the enemy. As much as conservative news outlets and any news outlets will scapegoat us and will use us as a kind of gay fear, satanic panic enemy, we just want to live our lives. We are not taking lesbians away, we are not taking children away. We just want to live our lives. We want to live as trans people, we want to enjoy our lives, and we want to feel our truth. And we're not the enemy. Trans people are not the enemy. The enemy is the Conservative government who's taking away money, rights, and they will scapegoat trans people, and they will use trans people as an example of degeneracy. But all we are is people. All I want to do is live my life as a man. I don't see what's so wrong with that.
I don't believe there's news stories. If you are someone that is taken to reading mainstream media, do some research, meet some people outside of your community, try to understand and reflect upon why you maybe feel discomfort and where that's come from, and then start to embrace things that like represent positivity and like love and stuff, and that's basically everything you can see around you as opposed to the hate. If something looks nasty, just walk away from it instead of embracing that kind of toxicity.
It feels overwhelming right now. It feels like maybe you're powerless, but you're not, and you're not alone. And this thing that we're going through right now is a moment in time. And as much as it feels like it's got worse and it's changed for the worse, it will change for the better, because nothing is permanent, and you have a future and you will get there.
Thank you to the community, to the trans community, to the LGBTQIA+ community, for being so accepting and like just being so loving, and just the amount of joy that I've personally experienced in the past few months, like being a part of this community, has just been magical. It's such a wonderful feeling, and sending love to everyone.
I just want people to know that what people perceive as tainted is actually the very thing that makes you beautiful. So don't let anyone deter you from being who you are, for striving for what you want to do, for living your authentic creation, because that's all you've got and no one else has that. And if anyone is trying to take that away from you, it's because they're still on their journey and they are trying to figure out who they are, and that has nothing to do with you. Don't adopt their energy. Just keep your own and just watch what will flourish.